welcome back to the channel. I am filming this video at the end of May now, and I thought it'd be a really good time for me to just reflect on how last month went and set some goals for the month of June. I am currently in my last couple of months of pregnancy, which is crazy. Time feels like it's going by really slow, but really fast at the same time, which is weird. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a really good moment for me to just check in with how I'm feeling and what I want to accomplish before baby's arrival. There are days where I feel like I have so much to get done and my mind's spiraling, so I wanted to take a moment to plan for the month of June in a way that doesn't add too much pressure on me. So in today's video, I just wanted to take you through a couple of snippets and update you on what's been going on for the past couple of weeks, and then we'll jump into the planning part. Towards the end of the video in the planning section, I really want to share with you guys a new planning method that's been working really well for me. I just started implementing this about a week ago, and I find that it's been making a huge shift in my mindset lately. I realized that I was making to-do lists for my ideal level of energy when actually my energy was just not there for the week. I hope you stick around because I really want to talk to you guys more about this. Life's been busy, but in a weird way, it's like time is speeding up and slowing down at the same time. Most days, I try to start with something simple like making a cup of tea and some breakfast. I've really been enjoying journaling with the One Day app that can create easy templated prompts to journal, and I can use text-to-speech to brain dump everything. I find this super helpful when I'm not sure what I should journal about, and I also love that I can search specific things using the search function. This past month, I've been trying to do some light movement throughout the day. It doesn't have to be a full workout. Sometimes it's just a few minutes on the yoga ball in front of my desk, or I've been really enjoying going for walks with Nico. Eric's been helping with a lot of nesting projects too, like getting the nursery ready. It's been so nice having these quiet little moments together, even if they're just cleaning or running errands. This past month, I also started gardening and planting flowers. I cannot wait to see them bloom this summer.
What are these called? Hydrangeas?
And in between all that, I've been loving planning things using my new iPad. I wanted to upgrade my iPad so I could take advantage of the editing features of Final Cut Pro, as well as the Apple Intelligence features. I'm super excited to experiment with this more. I have also rediscovered digital planning with this new iPad. I think I've become a full-blown iPad kid, or adult, I guess. Ooh. Okay, we have a new lighting setup today, and hopefully it makes things a little better visually, because I think during my last video, everything was a little dark, so we're gonna try to improve on that today. If I'm looking down on my iPad, it's because I have some notes along with my Notion board open. All right, so let's start out by opening my Notion dashboard and review last month's goals and see how they went. So starting with the wellness goals, one of my goals was hydration, which I know seems really simple and mundane, but as someone who doesn't naturally drink a lot of water, I wanted to really make a point of hydrating during my pregnancy, especially as I progress throughout my second trimester and my third trimester as well. One thing that I've been loving right now is Hydralyte. Me and my husband have tried so many brands of electrolytes, and Hydralyte has been my favorite so far. My favorite flavor is the passion fruit one. It's just the perfect level of sweetness and tartness for me because I love citrusy drinks. So yeah, highly recommend adding some electrolytes to your water. Next, we have a productivity goal. One of my goals was to set up a Notion template that was custom to my needs. I have been using a Notion template for the past maybe year or so that I got online, and it is super comprehensive. It has all of the system flows that you would ever think of. It was a really good template for me to understand the capacity of Notion, but it was so complicated sometimes that I would get overwhelmed and just not use it at all. So I decided that I wanted to come up with a template that works for my needs at the level that I am right now with my content and like my life in general. So I wanted to keep it super simple, again, keeping with a theme of just not putting too much pressure on myself. I would just get overwhelmed by the amount of information that I needed to input into the template in order to just like keep up with it. And I would also also get stressed out whenever I would miss deadline because a lot of the tasks in the template are very deadline driven, which is good in some ways, but not so good if you keep on missing them. And I just started feeling horrible about like my productivity and how I wasn't hitting my goals. So I wanted to come up with something that was low pressure, that was customized to what I needed at the moment. And then as my needs increase over time, I'm sure that the format is going to change as well. So I'm pretty happy with what I came up with this past month. It is super simple. So just to quickly run through my current dashboard setup. On my homepage, we have a weekly plan, and then we have this week's minimum goals and maximum goals. I will go over that towards the end of the video, so stick around. I also have my March goals, just for you to keep an eye out on that. And then if we scroll down, I have my tasks and projects organized in different types of views depending on what I need, but I have all my current tasks, my content pipeline, as well as all the projects that I'm working on, personal and work projects. And then I also have a task inbox that I haven't really been using, but it's there. It's meant for me to put different tasks as I think about them and then organize them into projects at some other time. So yeah, that is what it looks like right now. I can do a deeper dive another time, but that is a separate video. So now that I have a pretty good template going for myself on Notion, this is going to make planning the content for June a lot easier. So I decided that my goal for the month of June is going to hopefully publish 2 long form videos, which I don't know, to some it's a lot and to others it's really not a lot, but this is going to be one of them. So I just need to pump out one more video, which I think I can do, hopefully. And then hopefully we can have a bunch of short form content in between the long form content as well. I'm putting it out there on the internet and hopefully holding myself accountable for actually following through this. On the other hand, content creation did not happen or barely happen because it just took me a lot to recover from coming back from my travels. Don't get me wrong, I love traveling, but at the same time, I'm always playing catch up when I come back, whether it's in my personal life or for work stuff. And it takes me a while to get back into the routine of things. So that is why there is barely any content last month. So reading is constantly a goal of mine. I'm not very good at it, but we're going to keep it on there to just motivate myself, hopefully every month. I recently discovered audiobooks though, which I've been really loving. And it's actually free if you have Spotify Premium, which is amazing. I got into knitting these past couple of months. So I've been loving just listening to an audiobook and knitting, or I also listen to the audiobooks when I'm driving. I don't know what I updated you guys last video, but I completed Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I believe I actually completed that on the Kindle reading and not by audiobook actually. And then the audiobook that I finished in I think 2 days is The Boyfriend by Frida. What's her name? I'll put the name of the author somewhere in there. But yes, it was more of a thriller kind of story. And what I realized is that I really enjoy reading books, but I love listening to thriller audiobooks. For whatever reason, my brain works that way. Listening to Never Lie, which is another thriller story. Okay, lastly, my goals for Wolf Knox. So if you're new here, I do have a small business for dog accessories. And to be honest, I've been struggling a lot with trying to figure out what I want to do with the business ever since I got pregnant. I had all of these plans for this upcoming year. I put everything on hold because I'm not sure how to proceed with things. I am not sure how having a baby is going to affect me, so I didn't want to financially commit to more products, for example. So everything is on hold right now, and I'm still assessing where I want to take it in the future. With that said, I did launch a couple of ads in the month of May, so I ran them throughout the month of May, which I guess is going to end in a couple of days now. And then I will just review them, assess them, and continue doing that for the next couple of months. I will try to create some content for Wolf Knox, but things are a little passive right now until I figure out a plan for us. All right, so that was the review for the month of May, and now let's jump into planning for the month of June. Okay, so moving on to the June planning. So for the month of June, I'm not, again, trying to do too much before baby's arrival, but I did want to set a couple of goals for myself just to keep myself a little bit more sane. So one little strategy that I've been trying to implement for the past couple of weeks is creating like a max level energy to-do list and a minimum level energy to-do list. I'm not really sure what to call it, but we'll call it that for now. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but one thing that I struggle with the most with planning and creating to-do lists is my inability of actually following through and checking off everything. So I came up with this little strategy with my best friend ChatGPT. What I realized was that I was creating to-do lists thinking that I would be operating at 100% level energy throughout the week. Because usually when I am creating those lists, I feel so energized and motivated to do so much. And so I include a lot on my to-do list. The issue is that as I progress throughout the week, oftentimes my energy levels are at like 70% or sometimes even 30%. And I am unable to complete everything that I've done. And so I would look at my to-do list and feel super discouraged about everything that I haven't completed yet and everything that I have yet to do. So now during my weekly planning process, I always try to come up with like my minimum energy to-do list, or like survival list if you want to call it. And on that list, I would only include 1 or 2 things that I wanted to complete for the week. It's almost like you want this to-do list to be foolproof. Like it can be as simple as getting up and brushing your teeth. I personally keep it super simple. And then right next to my bare minimum list, I will have a list of to-do lists that I still really want to complete, but I will not beat myself over it if I do not complete every single thing on that list. So ever since implementing this strategy, I find myself a lot more positive about my to-do list. And I found that I actually complete a lot more. What was holding me back before was just this like spiraling energy that I was throwing myself into. And now, because I'm actually able to complete the small to-dos that I put for myself, I'm in a better mood and I want to complete more on the other to-do list. So I highly recommend this if you also struggle with completing things off on your to-do list because you're just spiraling out of control. Realistically, we don't always operate at 100%, so we shouldn't design our to-do list as if we do. For this month, I really want to get into the habit of planning for my actual real energy level instead of my ideal energy level. So I'm not going to read every single goal that I have on the screen right now. But again, I just want to keep up with my wellness habits as I progress throughout this 3rd trimester. It's going to be super important for me to get my prenatal stretches in, as well as keeping hydrated and keeping my body nourished and ready for labor. On that note, I wanted to start planning content for after baby's arrival. I'm not too sure what that's gonna look like yet, but I feel like this new chapter of my life is also igniting this new level of motivation in me. I'm not saying that I'm gonna be like a mom channel or family channel. I have no interest and the patience to create content like that, but I still want to document my life from a wellness and productivity perspective. And I think it's gonna be interesting to see that life through the lens of motherhood. Baby's kicking. So yeah, I think that is it for today's video. I do not know how long this video is going to be yet. We will see when we start editing, but I am super excited and pumped for this coming month, especially with my new little productivity strategy that I'm implementing with my to-do list. If you're struggling with your to-do list, I hope that you give it a try and let me know how it goes. There's going to be so many cool things happening in the month of June I'll try to vlog as much as I can. Next video is maybe going to be me packing my hospital bag. If I have time to do that, I better have time to do that because the baby's coming in July. We're gonna do that together, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.